Unfortunately, it happened. After many happy years, Valve nerfed our precious weapon and killed the careers of all old AWPers.
Okay.
Hey, somebody get Valve on the phone.
What you see is what you get.
How, why, for what reason? No explanation. But if the mountain won't come to Muhammad, Muhammad must go to the mountain. Hello Predators, it's MultiAlexson. Let's clarify if AWP is really no longer meta and what AWPers should expect in the new game. Just a couple of months ago, each AWPer could decisively say that their rifle had terrific shooting mechanics, unmatched by anything else. At that moment, after switching to a new engine, as well as receiving updates, one even through AWPer mentions a notable change: failing to hit the target and losing connection with the new rifle. In other words, skills that the players have honed over the years vanish without a trace because of these new changes. Changes that took the inevitable step to reducing the usage of this type of weapon. For example, after the very first CS2 tournament, some famous AWPers declared that they use AWP less as it now barely affects gameplay. But is it really so? Did AWP really lose its power? To understand this, we need to look at the changes the community and players are talking about. The first change is that of the new MR12 system. It's due to reducing the rounds, the economic factor has become even more limited, which primarily put AWPers in the fire line. Also, due to MR12, the role of pure sniper can disappear altogether, to be replaced by something between an AWPers and a rifler. The second change is in the accuracy of the rifle. Many players have noticed that in CS2, unlike in CSGO, we have an aim punch, even if we have armor and a helmet. It doesn't happen a lot, but it still happens. If you don't know, after being shot in the chest or any other part of the body, and if we're not wearing armor or a helmet, the aiming trajectory will change, making us less accurate during firefights. This effect is called aim punch, as I mentioned above. Maybe it's a bug, maybe it's not, but the truth is that now when we take damage, our up crosshair starts to shake. It's a strange effect that didn't exist in CSGO at all. One player on Reddit claims that the crosshair shake effect is just a visual bug that doesn't affect accuracy. At the same time, he also agreed that the effect of an aim punch appears despite the presence of full armor. By the way, it wasn't the only effect added by Valve. They also added a tracer effect for the snipers to be more easily detectable by the enemies. Interesting changes, huh? AWPers will definitely find it challenging. But wait, that's not all. The last and the most important change which impacted the weapon mechanics greatly is Subtick. It's a new system which, unlike the tick method, identifies the exact moment that the players perform any action, even if it's happening in between ticks.
So what you see is what you get.
All is well, but there's a but.
Oh, Pumpe. Die hab ich den beim ersten.
The time between games frames may be inconsistent and depends on different factors: computer efficiency, internet connection, etc. If the timing is inconsistent, the player may experience lagging between their actions and the game's response.
Right side mid, left side.
Holy what?
So what you see is what you get.
That's why players who pick when hiding out now have a big advantage over AWPers who stand still and control the position. Another Subtick-related problem among AWPers is with flicks. Being spectacular is now more difficult. Remember looking one way and then suddenly change your crosshair's position and taking out the opponent.
How? Shut! Keep. How?
I don't know!
All because you used to be able to click and flick, and the bullet would register where your crosshairs were. It meant that you could click the mouse, move the cursor onto the enemy in time for the bullet to hit them. However, in CS2 when we press the shot button, the bullet registers exactly where our crosshairs were initially. So now when you flick, you need to wait until the crosshairs are aligned with the enemy before clicking. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Players are understandably beyond furious, having spent years honing this skill, and now in one moment everything has changed. After taking a look at all the changes, it's quite clear that Valve have indeed nerfed and reduced the dominance of AWP in the game. But can we say that it's no longer meta? I don't think so. There was no dramatic change in the mechanics of the game. We can still do flicks, accurately shoot and do one-shot kills. All we have to do is get accustomed to the changes. adeX, an upper in our team, agrees with this, by the way. He says that initially considered resigning when friends told him about how terrible the new AWP was. After a single month spent training, however, the Predator realized that the certain key moments haven't actually changed, and AWP can still become meta, as it really gives a significant benefit in peaking. Adding, he wrote that the more aggressive uppers have a leg up on other players now. All players with a positive attitude and the desire to adapt is good, of course, but look back in history and you'll understand that any changes in the rifle mechanics leave a trace and significantly affect the careers of professional players. Kenias is one of such examples. In a single day, he went from the world best upper to an average one. It happened March 31st, 2015, when the developers released a patch where they halved the movement speed in zoom from 200 to 100. Then, times when uppers could be aggressive came to an end. For context, before this happened, the movement speed in zoom never changed, so he moved really quickly on the map. Doing fast zooms and flicks were unnecessary. Imagine that you have a scout, you can quickly run out from around the corner, crosshairs on, aim in a second, and go back. It must have been a wonderful time. In time, Kenny has adapted, just like other players did.
This, me. This, CS2.
Okay.
But ultimately he couldn't regain his pre-patch position on the leaderboard. New players were not affected by the new changes, however, and sometime after new previously unheard legends began to spread. But not all is good here either. Unfortunately, if you were once a new player, over time you grow old, and you'll experience what the old legends once did. That's why we're surrounded by so much negativity right now. We see legends of yesterday starting to fade away. The biggest example is simple. As expected, new changes and the general feeling of new game forced the best upper in the world to become inactive. No one knows whether the legend will ever return.
Yeah, it's actually hard to say, but yeah, I decided to retire.
The situation is different with Zybo. His first tournament as an upper didn't go well. But now he's adapted and continues to be the best in the world. One conclusion can be drawn from all of this. AWP is still meta. Most professional uppers have not stopped using it. Its influence is still great despite all of the changes that Valve made in the new game. So answering the main question now, did Valve really kill AWP in CS2? No, it didn't kill AWP. It killed the old generation, so the new generation could shine. What are your thoughts of the AWP changes? Is the situation really this hopeless? Are uppers about to disappear from CS2 completely, or will AWP eventually show its might and give us new stars? Leave your comments below. Meanwhile, I'll watch our team competing in Major. Open qualifiers are taking place right now. So if you don't wanna miss the results of our team or any other CS related videos, leave a warm like, subscribe to our channel IKLA and support our players. As always, it was MultiAlexson. See you, Predators!